back at you, little Tom Petty, running down a dream, Coach.
You know, it's the CIF playoffs, and all these teams who enter the CIF championship, they're running down a dream, trying to be champions. Just to make CIF is a heck of an honor. Of course, unless you're that 0-10 team that got in, but whatever, they got in, and once you get in, man, you got an opportunity to get a ring and be a champion. So they're all chasing that dream.
So we got a little bonus feature for you today. We got Palos Verdes versus La Serna for the Division 5 championship. We have some friends at Palos Verdes and La Serna, in particular Dan Klink of Palos Verdes and Dennis Roll of La Serna. They contribute each week to the show with some comments and questions, so we appreciate that. So we wanted to kind of break down the championship game between Palos Verdes and La Serna.
Yeah, a little bonus footage. We don't have, obviously, a PV or a La Serna helmet because we don't cover those teams, but we do have a Sea King helmet.
Oh, I see what you did
So we'll
there.
kind of split the difference.
Right.
Palos Verdes is a team we kind of cover by default because they play two of the teams that we cover every year.
Edison, Corona Del Mar.
Yeah, and so, it's an interesting thing. I actually have a lot of respect for Palos Verdes because for years they'd play those teams, and not only did they lose, they kind of lost handedly. But they never backed down.
Nope.
They never dropped those teams. They kept battling. They came back every year like Rocky, just getting up. And they not only closed the gap. Last year, they beat both those guys.
And their games are something to attend. They're fun, as is La Serna. We saw La Serna last year in the championship game against Corona Del Mar. That atmosphere was electric. Going up to the Hill, Palos Verdes. I did that this year against Corona Del Mar, and that place is great. You talk about community football at its finest.
Yeah.
I mean, you got houses across the street. You got people that aren't even in the stadium sitting up on the wall watching the game.
I heard the
It's
championship
awesome.
game was so sold out. They had people outside the stadium watching.
Oh yeah,
There's a
yeah.
grassy
They
hill,
got
I
that
guess.
little hill up there, and
Yeah.
you can stand above on the sidewalk and watch. It's you talk, like I said, you talk about community football. That field is right in the middle of a neighborhood. It's awesome.
Yeah, so last year's PV team went 10-0. Of course, the reward was going to Mission in the
Viejo,
first round,
right.
who ended up winning CIF and state. This year they didn't get off to the best start, but they did well enough to get into the playoffs, and they made the most of it. Let's find out how they did. Let's get into this thing. Cole, please
go to the
pull up
film.
my monitor. All right, so this was a defensive game early on. Really, La Serna probably played the better game for about 3.5 quarters. Elijah Blue Flores, how's that for a name? First play of the game is going to come off the edge, get a sack, and really kind of set the tone, just the whole vibe for what the night was going to be like. A lot of PV early on. They had La Serna, long methodical drive, and then Grady Long, the quarterback, off play action. This is what a good run game will do, is going to find his wide out.
Look how much time he
open.
had. Great job by the O-line there.
And that would be all scoring early on. 7-0 La Serna. Now, we're already into the second quarter. This was a key series of events where La Serna really is going to be kicking themselves. Elijah Blue Flores, again, off the edge, is going to shut down PV, stopping another drive. And, Palos Verdes has an outstanding quarterback in terms of his ability to get out of trouble. But here we go.
Oh, special teams.
A bad snap. Couldn't field it. So now in the closing seconds of the first half, La Serna has a chance to go up 14-0. In a defensive game like this, that's almost like being up 28-0. The quarterback's looking, trying to make a play. And you got to be disciplined and just get rid of it. Nick, sorry, Nick. Jakubik, there you go. He's going to
Nice
tip
play,
it,
Nick.
get the kick. So saves a touchdown late in the second quarter. And then in the closing seconds of the second quarter, again, La Serna trying to extend that lead, but this time Jace DeMoss gets a pick, so we're going to go into halftime 7-0. So it's still anybody's ball game, but certainly La Serna had their opportunities. So now we're late into the fourth quarter. Nothing's going on in the third quarter. Cameron Hughes is going to make a huge play, probably the play of the game. Again, La Serna looking to go up 14-0 late. He gets a pick and is going to take it to the house. So instead of being down 14-0 late in the game, it's a whole new ball game. And it's almost as if this finally woke up Palos Verdes because the defense just started teeing off. Josh Williams, who was lights out, I think he's only a sophomore, and Owen Wilson off the edge, up the middle. You could just see the D's fired up, causes a fumble. PV will take it from there. Ryan Rakowski. How many times have we seen this guy do this to our team?
Rakowski just scrambling around, yeah.
They have these guys beat, and this guy just pulls a rabbit out of his hat. Great athleticism. So now, late in the game, a game where they've kind of been dominated, they've got the lead. And so the defense is fired up. Josh Williams, again, up the gut on an end around. Nice arm over move, by the way. Safety. And now it's 16-7 all of a sudden. And again, they're pulling away. So it's a free kick from the 15. they almost have to offside because it's onside because it's so late. They do, and they actually would recover. So La Serna's, they're hanging in there, but hold on, huddle. Got to fast forward a little bit.
What does Palos
Josh
Verdes have
Williams.
in common with Edison, too? Rakowski's only a sophomore, just like Sam Thompson at Edison.
Yeah, so a sack, a fumble. La Serna would recover,
Oh.
but just pretty much ends that drive. So PV gets the ball back. Now they're looking to close this thing out. I want you to watch
Patrick
Klink kick out the end. This is going to be QB power. Down, kick, Klink, boom, get him out of your
Boom,
way.
Patrick.
Rakowski pumping those legs. You know, he's a good thrower, but he can run too. I feel like that's where he does the majority of his damage, just escaping.
Look at the confetti going off with a touchdown. That's awesome.
23-7. Now you can feel it.
Oh,
And look, the best formation in football, the
Victory!
formation. PV would go on to win the CIF championship, the first since 2014, and congratulations to them. I want to give a special thanks to the coach. You know, we don't cover them, so Klink gave me the number to one of their assistant coaches, and he's kind of like, man, I don't know if we can really send you huddle because some of those coaches are real weird about huddle.
yeah, they're
And I'm like, dude,
guarded.
I'm going to delete this game in a second.
Right,
it's over.
exactly.
But we want to hook you up. We know Coach Gardner from his Pacifica days.
Yeah,
over at
congratulations to Coach Gardner.
and, you know, I've always been a big PV fan. Like I said, they don't back down from anybody. I loved the scheme they ran last year when they ran all that heavy personnel, you know, tight ends and backs. And but just a great story. It's a fun team to cover. You've been to their stadium a couple
Yeah,
times.
they had a reunion there this week, too. One of my best friends in the world, Jeff Savage, played at Palos Verdes High School. And, yeah, nothing but good stuff up there. And like I said, I think they had a reunion this week of Palos Verdes football players. So hope that went well for them. That sounds like
I
fun.
mean, it certainly ended well. And then, you know,
Yeah.
Serna back in the CIF championship game for a second straight year. They won it last year, so certainly they're doing good things there.
They have something about they like playing teams with the name Sea Kings.
Well, they're 1-1 against the Sea Kings in the finals, but no, that's a good program. And boy, they
Great program.
had that game. They kind of let that one get away. But look, you play 4 quarters. You don't play 3.5 quarters, and so you got to finish. You got to kind of stick around, give yourself some
You
opportunities.
don't make 2 consecutive championship games by mistake. That's a well-coached program. Players flying around the field. La Serna does everything right. You got to give them a ton of credit.
I love their offense. That scheme
Yeah.
was a bear to defend. But hey, PV, you got some big fat rings coming in the
Yeah.
mail. So enjoy that. You'll have that forever. Congratulations.
Congratulations to both Palos Verdes and La Serna. Thanks for joining us for this bonus edition of Sunset Rewind. We'll be back next week to cover the regional game that Edison will be playing in.
Hey, and PV, by the way, if you want us to cover you next year, it's an option. Let's talk. I'll reach out to you guys in the offseason. But again, congratulations.
All right, thanks for joining us. Take care and God bless.